You say that again, I'm gonna punch you right in the nose.
He didn't tell me that for a long time until Paul was growing up. Paul said that to him when he was little. He got that weird. Yeah, and I'm like, oh. I wouldn't have let him get away with that if I would have known he did it, but I would have made him apologize, but I didn't know it happened.
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think they might make a decision in this.
So Christopher calls me every time when he gets home. Mr. Call me early.
So we have a whole, yes.
Do you think Carolyn's not coming up?
I don't know, like,
Longest minute ever.
Yeah, it's behind.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I hereby call the Charter Township of Comstock Zoning Board of Appeals meeting to order. The first agenda item is to approve the agenda.
I move we approve the current agenda.
I support it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
If I may make a note, Madam Chair, so elected officers will be skipping tonight or today until probably the April 21st, April 28th meeting, as we don't have a full board right now.
Right. Thank you. All right. And then, are there any updates or changes to the minutes that were in our packet?
Well, I saw a couple, but explain most of them, but the last one is Kyvenhoven, where he made his schedule, and he said it was 2016, and it should be 2016, it should be 2023.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's old news.
Any other changes?
That's the only one I see in the minutes.
All right. Well, I'll accept a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes as corrected.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. All right. New business. We will have Casey give us a report.
Yes, so we have a dimensional variance request here for a house located at 428 Morrow. At the time that this staff report was written, we had not yet received a survey from the surveyor. So in the staff report, it says it's requesting setbacks and a lot coverage variance. At your seats, you had the survey, and so that survey confirms the setbacks meet the current standards. So they're no longer asking for a setback variance, just the lot coverage variance. If you guys want to discuss that survey at all during the discussion time, that will be your opportunity. So yes, we have a parcel, address here at 428 Morrow. The applicant is the builder, and he is here as well for further questions after the staff report. So I will skip this section that discusses setbacks, as the setbacks will meet the current standards of 30 feet for the front yard, 5 and 10 feet for the side yard, and rear yard of 35 feet. In the area, you could see we were concerned about that southern property line and it not meeting the 5 or 10 feet standards. However, the survey confirms that it will meet the 5-foot requirement. Okay, and so we're going to maximum lot coverage. The maximum lot coverage allowed for property in the zoning district of R1B is 20%, which allows a maximum of 1,393 square feet of buildings. However, the proposed home will be the existing footprint of the home that got hit by the tree of 1,040 square feet, and the existing garage is 480 square feet. So the total building square footage would be 1,520 square feet, so about 200 square feet over the maximum lot coverage. So in this case, they would require a variance of about 22% lot coverage variance. We'll go over a bit of information for the site. It's zoned R1B. To the north, south, east, and west is also R1B residential. The lot is 0.16 acres and about 76 feet of frontage to the east on Morrow. We'll go through the staff report. So A, asks, is this the use variance? It is not. B, questions if complying with the zoning ordinance would prevent the property owner from using the property, permitted use. I found that yes, if this variance were not to be approved, it would make it difficult on the homeowner to use this for a permitted use, as they hope to build a dwelling there. And our minimum standard for home square footage is 960 square feet. They're only proposing a home of 1,040 square feet, so that's only 80 square feet larger. I think my math may be correct, where even if they went 960 square feet, they would still need that lot coverage variance, but we can confirm that during discussion. C, ask if granting this variance would do substantial justice to the neighboring property owners. And I found that allowing the property owner to rebuild the home at the existing footprint would not cause harm to the nearby property owners. However, we wanted to confirm that they would not encroach upon that southern property line, and the survey does that. D, ask if the hardship is due to unique circumstances. And the home was constructed in 1950s, and so we can assume that the zoning standards were different back then. And so also during a storm in August 2025, a tree fell through the home, and after talking with the builder and the property owner, it seems there's too much damage to repair, and a complete demolition and rebuild is required. E, ask if the hardship is self-created. I thought it was not self-created due to the fact that it's not their fault that the tree fell through the home, and also that it was built in the 50s when things might have been a little different. But that's all for you to discuss as well. F, ask if the Board of Appeals is ensuring that the spirit of the zoning ordinance is observed, public safety secured, and substantial justice done. And then G, ask if this is a reoccurrent variance where we should look at amending our ordinance to tackle things like this, but I decided that this was not reoccurrent in nature. And then as we go, we have a picture of the tree when it fell on the home. As you can see, it completely just wiped it. And then we also have a recent photo when I drove by and snapped a picture in you guys' seats that shows pretty much the roof is collapsed in and the damage that was done by the tree under this picture. We then have the application from the applicant, as well as the use standards for the R1B district. And again, the applicant is here if he has anything he would like to add to this request.
Thank you. Would you like to address the board with if we have any questions or anything?
If you guys have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer those.
Yeah.
I am just been hired by the homeowner to put their house back together. So
Oh, okay.
that's all we're trying to do for her.
Okay, so it's the same owner?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
If you could come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
My name's Kyle McKnight. Our business is Custom US, and we reside at 6287 American Ave in Portage, Michigan.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, are you gonna use the same footings and stuff, or are you gonna,
Yes, sir. We're gonna just take it down to the foundation and then rebuild from there.
so you're not gonna change the shape
The
of the house?
footprint's
or
not
anything?
changing, no.
Okay, I wondered. And what Casey brought up, there was no zoning existing. You can presume because it doesn't even exist. If you talk zoning, you'd be talking foreign language. It's just you're not old enough to remember that.
Okay. Any other questions? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
I have a question for Casey. I have a question for Casey. Did you send notice out to the neighborhood that there will be a hearing today?
The notices, yes, to the surrounding neighbors, 300 feet radius.
Okay.
all right. I will entertain a motion to open public comment on this agenda item.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there's any public here who would like to get up and make any comments on the agenda item, you can come up to the podium and give your name and address.
first time I've been here. My name is Danny McIntyre, and I'm the next door neighbor to Karen. And we've lived there 54 years, and they've lived beside us 47 of them. And we've never had a bad word with them. They've always been good neighbors. They took care of their place and everything. Jim passed away about 3 years ago, and Andy's moved back in to help them. My wife and I really feel they ought to get the variance. We need good neighbors a lot better than we need an empty lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that microphone, you could pull it down.
Yes. Well, I'm one of the original people in the neighborhood. I've been there since 1954. I've lived in 3 different houses on the circle. And this house was built probably in 1955. If not, it was in 1956. And Jim and Carolyn were good neighbors, and we just would like to have that house back. We've looked at it ever since the storm came early last summer, and nothing has been done, and it's an eyesore right now, and it's a danger.
Yeah.
And so we'll be happy to see a house go back there.
Thank you. Can you give your name and address for the record?
I'm Vera Jude, and I live at 469 Marl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. I'll entertain a motion to close public comment.
I make a motion to close public comment.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we will review the standards. Casey gave us some review of her on the standards. It's like on page 9 of the packet that we had. That's where we start. The standard A that says it's not applicable, so it doesn't apply to this case. B, the compliance with the strict letter of the zoning ordinance would unreasonably prevent the owner or occupant of the property from using the property for a permitted purpose, or would render conformity with zoning ordinance unnecessarily burdensome. Any comments on that from the board?
So I guess I haven't heard anything about why there was a need to build a larger square footage, but maybe just something.
Turn on your, oh, okay.
I haven't heard anything about why there was a need to increase the square footage. You mentioned something about building on the same foundation, correct?
You're not going to increase the square footage, Jake?
No.
I think it's all in the garage, isn't it?
Oh.
Yes, so I think we're not gonna tear down the garage at all. So there's, I think, 400 and some square foot there, but then the remainder of the house is what we're taking down and repairing and putting back. We're not changing the footprint at all.
Okay.
So what we're looking at is just the percentage, which could have had no bearing when they built it, and now it has bearing. Is that right? Okay. So yeah, the size is the same. It's the ordinance now says 20% of square footage.
The ordinance didn't exist when they built it.
Yeah.
So you said that.
Okay. All right. Render conforming.
I think you're on C.
Oh, yes, on C. That a grant of the variance applied for would do substantial justice to the applicant as well as to other property owners in the surrounding area, or an alternative, a lesser relaxation than that applied for would give substantial relief to the owner or occupant of the property involved and be more consistent with justice to other property owners. Any comments?
They're not really changing the size.
Right, it's, okay,
It can't have much effect.
right,
I don't see it making any difference at all.
okay. Thank you. Item D, the hardship asserted by the applicant by way of justification for a variance is due to unique circumstances of the property.
Yeah, I think it was built before we had standards.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't, if it's the zoning, you're talking foreign language.
Excuse me. One comment, you'll have, go around this town here, all around it. The wife and I first got married back in '61. You find national homes all over this town. Most of them, the footage is 960 feet, and you'll find thousands of them around here.
E, the hardship asserted by way of justification for the variance is not self-created. Sorry. Item E, that the hardship asserted by way of justification for the variance is not self-created. Your feelings?
In this case, I don't believe it is. I mean, they could build smaller, but if they build it on the same foundation that they started with, it's really not changing anything.
I agree.
That's my feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
All right. Item F, that in the granting of a variance, the Board of Appeals is ensuring that the spirit of the ordinance is observed and public safety secured and substantial justice is done.
That's the true statement, I guess.
Okay. All right. And the last one is not a recurrent, it's not recurrent issue.
No.
All right. I will entertain a motion to either approve or deny the request.
Support.
I make a motion, we approve the request.
Approve
I
the,
support.
let me just get it in that the lot coverage of an increase to 22% from 20.
Yes.
Okay. Did you second?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I support.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Done
You're all
deal.
set.
Thank you very much, folks. We'll hopefully have that after that.
We weren't doing anything except rebuilding.
Yeah. But it's that percentage that's getting them right now.
No.
No. And the setbacks were fine, so that would have been the one thing that could have been. All right, any old business?
None.
Okay. There's nothing under the next items. Any other business from other boards?
Oh, no, citizen comment.
Huh?
There's a citizen comment on number
Oh,
7.
Citizens comment. Oh, right, okay.
And there's no citizens there now.
And, yeah. Let me-
Yeah.
Yep.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. All right.
This is the first time I've been down to one of your meetings.
Well, you missed the other two places that we met.
Right.
The Township Hall used to be down the road a couple of years ago, so you didn't even make it.
Yes. There's a lot I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Are there any comments on non-agenda items? No? There's no one here now.
No, I
Oh,
can't.
that was a comment.
Huh?
He was commenting.
Oh, yes, he was. He did, yeah. All right, reports from other boards.
I can give a brief update on the Township Board. I don't know if you might touch on this too, Larry. The biggest ones were that a temporary moratorium was placed on data centers, solar projects, and wind projects. If you remember a year ago, or a little over a year ago, moratorium was placed on battery energy storage system projects, so that the planning commission and committees could workshop an ordinance. We got that passed right around December 13th of last year. So it took the whole 12-month timeline to get that done. We entered another one for data centers and wind and solar with the hope of spending another 12 months workshopping an ordinance for all 3 items. So pretty big task, but that's all I think I have from the township board approved that, and then also the planning commission.
Okay. Thank you.
We did a lot last year, or since we met at this board. We passed the battery energy storage. We passed the chicken ordinance. We had the Upjohn Institute housing study. The accessory building, we redid that and passed that. We are currently working on redoing the PUD ordinance, which is public
Planned
planned urban development.
unit development.
Unit,
Planned unit development.
okay.
I was there when they wrote that. So
Well, yeah, we're tweaking a little bit, so it's a little easier to get builders to use it, is all. We're working on the landscape, redoing the landscaping so that it's not overbearing. And we're working on the data centers and gonna look at our master plan and mobile vendor revision. We passed that last year, but we're looking at it again. And that's pretty much all I have. Did I miss anything?
If I may elaborate just a little bit. So yes, the plan unit development, we have the ordinance as member Gazdag mentioned. But we got a lot of feedback from developers who wanted to come in, particularly recently was Matt Watts. He wanted to come in with the PUD. We're not coming. We talked about the idea of a PUD versus the text amendment that for R1C, and we discussed that a PUD is just not flexible. There's no benefit for a developer to go with PUD in our township because of the ordinance. So on the planning commission, we have a commissioner, I think, who's a building official and also the planning commission for the South Haven. So he worked really hard in South Haven creating their PUD ordinance. He introduced it to the planning commission. They liked everything, but minus just a few tweaks. And so we are working on completely taking out our existing ordinance and replacing it with South Haven's ordinance with a few tweaks because it's a city versus a township. So acreage allowances, that will go to public hearing, I believe, April 9th for that project. And then, let's see, what else was there? Accessory structure ordinances. Yes, so accessory structures like pole barns and sheds, we now allow 600 square feet extra than what it was. So for example, if you're half an acre, you were allowed 840, you're now, I believe, allowed 1440.
Because we took the garage out.
The garage still counts.
It's out of the equation.
So the garage still counts.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean,
We just
we
created
added the amount of the garage to the ordinance.
Correct. So if the typical garage is 400 square feet, we just said, let's do 600 square feet, bonuses for everybody.
So originally, we were gonna take the garage out, but instead we added the amount of an average garage.
And then chicken ordinances. So if you had chickens and you were in residential, the max chickens you could have is 6 hens. If you have an acre to 100 acres, it didn't matter. Residential was 6 chickens. They have now created a scale where I think it starts at 6 hens all the way up to 22 hens based on your acreage. So I think
you got 100 acres, you can't have more than six chickens?
that's how it was written, yes. So they have revised that to, I think now, if it's 5+ acres, don't quote me on that, you're allowed like 22 hens.
We had a lot of complaints before we changed it.
I would think with 100 acres, you could have more
Yeah.
than 6 chickens.
Yes, so that's how it was set.
My daughter's got probably 80 chickens on 6 acres in Florida.
Wow. And then, so yes, last meeting, we had Matt Watts came through with his proposal. If you remember last year, we amended the text amendment and rezoned his property to R1C. This is right by the little Eastwood Little League. It's 40 acres, right, bumping up to Casper and Lee and Margaret. And so he is doing a site condominium project for that. It will be single-family homes, just I think the division way we are dividing those lots up is using a site condo process. And there will be 138 homes on that 40 acres, with just 2 streets in and out, nothing coming off of Fordham. And so that was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission to the Township Board at our last meeting, and it'll be on the Township Board agenda on April 6th. So I think those are the biggest items. Any questions on those?
I wondered about the accessory, but you covered that. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just saw, I make a comment, I saw something on the news today about a data center. Oh, keeps turning off. I turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. A data center down in South Haven, Mississippi. And they've got a big data center down there, and they've got these little, like peakers that we got out here, that it's a little jet engine that runs a generator, and they got a bunch of them. And the noise constantly is like running a vacuum cleaner all the time. So that's something we gotta think about, because
Well, I've heard the data centers in general have just tons of noise.
yeah, but that's what they described, that one is like running a vacuum cleaner 24 hours a day. So if you don't like that, you might move up someplace else. But it's something that would be a problem, and I don't think you want to get them too close to anybody. And so I hope they take that into consideration.
You guys have a year to.
Cook up an ordinance.
Yeah.
3 ordinances actually for solar, wind, and data centers, so.
Good.
That's why we wanted it, so we'd have enough time to investigate and find all the pluses and minuses before we made an ordinance.
It wouldn't be as bad as living next to the tracks, but it'd only be in your,
Any other business items?
So we will have a meeting next month, 2 in a row, we're on a roll.
We will have one.
We will have one, yes. So I have had 2 pre-application meetings with applicants. They have not submitted or paid fees yet, but they are hoping to get that in by the end of the week to make the noticing deadline. Also, I will be at a conference April 28th, which is our next scheduled meeting. So I'm wondering if everybody's available the next week up, April 21st. Maybe, I don't know if you will.
I'll be at MTA.
Oh, April 21st? Okay. Never mind, we can pause that if needed. So yeah, maybe I'll send some emails out to see if we can adjust that date or that time possibly, because I will be at the American Planning Association conference in Detroit. But, so you might see some emails from me coming up to try and figure out if there's another option. If not, we'll just bump those people back till May meeting.
Okay.
And that's it for any other business.
Any training updates?
None.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would so move that we adjourn.
I'll support it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Less than half an hour. Less than half an hour.
Yes. I have another meeting after this.
Oh,
About to climax.
oh,
It was good seeing you.
You gotta remind me, some of the tassels passed away, or are they all going yet?